Act first, then the inspiration will come. Draw first, then the inspiration will come. Just start shooting, then the inspiration will come. Just start moving, then the inspiration will come. Don't wait. So many people wait or tell you they're going to write this novel or they're going to do this or they're going to make this film. They never do it because they're waiting for all this stuff to come to them. It comes through doing it.
Robert Rodriguez is one of my all-time favorite filmmakers, but not for the reasons you might think, like the quality of his movies, but more for the mentality that he has when making movies. As a filmmaker myself, I get a lot of inspiration from this guy and use some of his filmmaking techniques in my own movies. If you're an upcoming filmmaker, I suggest checking out his film school videos where he goes through detail on what it took to make some of his movies. For this video, I'd like to talk about why I like him as a filmmaker, as well as the many things that I took inspiration from. He's often known for his DIY attitude when making his own movies, meaning he would often be the director, the writer, the editor, the camera operator, to many other positions he would take up, like even being the musician in some of his own work. This garnered him the nickname of being a one-man crew. In the majority of my shorts, I tend to handle most of the production, which might be a disadvantage since there might be too much to handle, but there are some benefits. When you verse yourself in many different technical skills, you can often think creatively on how to overcome certain problems where otherwise you would rely on someone else to help you out. One other aspect of Robert Rodriguez I think is important for a lot of filmmakers to take note of is when you're making a movie, always find a creative route to save money and time on a movie. It might be tempting to redo scenes, but you can be creative in how you keep moving forward.
Here we go, this is my actor Carlos. He's gonna run up the stairs and throw his guitar case, but you'll see that he misses in this first take. But that's all right, because the first part of it was fine. Him running up the stairs was good. I'm not gonna redo the whole take. That's a waste of film. What I'll do is just punch in a little bit closer, have him toss it again, and intercut the two shots so it looks like I have two cameras running at the same time.
I now want to talk about some of his life advices that I believe anyone can take regardless of whether you're a filmmaker or not. He often talks about not being afraid of failure, despite how bad it might be.
If you move forward in a positive direction, karma sweeps you away. So many ideas start coming. You learn so many things that you wouldn't have learned with inactivity. But no matter what, you're going to learn something, even if it's a failure. Just accept the fact that you'll probably fail, but don't care about that.
He often has a more positive attitude when viewing his failures. It's important to realize that not everything you're striving for is going to be 100% perfect, and that you may make mistakes.
Through the ashes of your failure are the keys to your success if you look close enough. You always fail for a reason. You had this goal in mind. Set a high goal. You probably won't reach that goal. You might reach that goal. You might reach something more if you stay positive. The karma pulls you along. You think you're setting your bar high. I always tell people, aim high. Because if you aim low, you know what? You're going to hit low.
Probably my favorite advice is in finding inspiration. As Robert Rodriguez put it, you can't just sit there and wait for the inspiration to come, because inevitably, you'll see a lot of the dangers in your path, and you'll be afraid to strive for it.
So what I would do is I would sit there and draw out the comic, and I would come up with it. But some days I'd come home from school, sit down, and go, I'm just going to wait for the inspiration to hit me. I'm going to wait for the idea to come fully formed. And when I got a joke, then I'll go draw it. And I would sit there for maybe 3 or 4 hours, and then go, all right, screw it. I got to get up and I got to do the process. I got to sit there and just start drawing. I don't even know why or how I'm going to get there. And then two things would come together, and it would be, oh, there's an idea. Oh, there's the first panel, there's the second panel. And then it would come together. Always. It would not take very long. I would fight that process so much because what was I doing? I was waiting for inspiration before I acted. It's always the other way around.
Even though there might be some movies of his that I don't like, the director will always have a special place in my filmmaking DNA. This is a director that has a lot of dedication for his own work, and it is something that I really respect in him. This is perhaps the biggest reason why he's one of my favorite filmmakers. I hope you find this video insightful, and thanks for watching.
It's a dark night.